Now, you only get a couple prunes. I mean, like 15 prunes, honey, you're going to be on the toilet all day. All right. Hi, this is Regina with Mountain Mama. I hate that. I'm going to clip that out.
What?
All right. Use earbuds, please.
Okay. Pausing.
Wait a minute. Put those prunes in a Ziploc bag so you don't spill them everywhere. All right. Okay. All right. This is Mountain Mama. I'm just, I had said that I was using different curriculums. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of the curriculums that I've tried. All right. I got curriculum from Confessions of a Homeschooler. She's amazing. Love her stuff. There's nothing negative I can say about her stuff. It's just very involved for me. That was the only thing. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I have 4 kids. 3 of them are in school. So it took so much time. And yes, I know, that's my job as a mom, is to pour everything I have into being a mom and homeschooling the kids. However, our kids are special needs and we have a lot of appointments. So for me, Confessions of a Homeschooler, I still use some of her stuff in bits and pieces. I use her methods. So there's nothing I can say negatively about it. Just for on the long term, it didn't work for our family. Okay. Just only because we have so many appointments and we're on the go a lot. And a lot of the activities are very interactive and you have to be home to execute them. Really great though. So I pull from those when I'm home and for certain projects. Okay. We tried Connections Academy. Connections Academy is a good program for some. It just didn't work for us. We had one computer at home, and our impression from the videos I saw on YouTube and from their website was that they sent you computer, and which they did. The first one was broken, and then the second one had problems too, and it was a desktop instead of the laptop. So as much as we were on the go, it was very, very difficult to get work done if we weren't right here at home. Which of course is the best learning environment, but we're not always home. So we have to have some sort of portable school. The other thing was what I didn't like about Connections Academy. I love all the materials they sent, but so I had, when they sent the one computer that was messed up, we used my laptop. So we started in the morning with one kiddo, and the thing, if you already are Connections Academy, you know how this rolls out. If you're thinking about Connections Academy, you start your lesson online, say if it's a reading lesson, and there's like 7 pages or 7 instructive steps to that, where you log in, they start their reading lesson, they get to about page 4, then it has you stop their lesson, and then they go to their workbook, okay? So they go to their workbook and do the pages that are asked, and they come back and finish that, say, 7 or 8 page reading lesson, okay? So they're doing the workbook plus the online reading lesson, but you have to stop in the middle of that. So I'd have to stop, log the kid out, get them going on their workbook, because we only had one computer at the time because the computer they sent us wasn't working. Each kid, by the way, does not get a computer. That was not our experience with Connections Academy. They said they had a limited number of computers, and they only had one per family at this point. I'm not complaining. I just would like to have known that ahead of time. I didn't know that till after it was delivered. So anyway, so I could have had planned on another laptop or this or that, but at that time, that was 2 years ago. May have changed by now. Who knows? Anyway, so I had to log one kid off mid-lesson, so they went and did the workbook. Log another kid on, get them halfway through whatever lesson they were going through, then it would direct them to their workbook, log them off, then get the third kid logged on, get them partway through their lesson, and then they'd get to their workbook. Now, by this time, the first kid, it was like a loop. It was like row, row, row your boat, man. It was like a loop. So by the time this came, by the time the third kid got done from being logged in, halfway through the lesson now, then I logged the first kid back on. This is one lesson, back into the reading, picked up page 3 or 4. But it didn't always pick up. Every time he logged in, I had to go back through the 3 or 4 pages quickly to get to where we were at to finish the several pages of the reading after you'd done the workbook part of it. So by the time I did this with 3 kids for every subject, it's like a round, one kid logs on, partway through, log off, do the workbook, and then go back in. We started at 9 a.m. and it was 6 o'clock and we weren't done with our day's worth of work and everybody was crying, me included. Literal tears. Like I thought this was horrible. The kids thought it was horrible. I thought it was horrible. So if you have a computer for each kid, it won't be a problem. When we tried it 2 years ago, we did not have a computer for each kid because we saw by all the unboxing, the great unboxing videos, that everybody would have their own computer. That wasn't the case for us. Will we try it again? Maybe especially in the high school years. Right now we're just in middle school. So it just didn't work for us. It didn't, and we were just so tied to the computers. All right, so I'm not saying don't use it. I'm just saying that was our experience with it. Okay, then we've used Time for Learning. I paid for that program. It's $50 a month. And they got cute lessons, and I paid for that program for a whole school year. And now I'm asking myself why I could have used that $50. It works great for some people. It works great for kids who are very self-directed and remember their lessons. It does not work for my kids because they get so much into playing the games or the animation of it, at least the littler kid, that he was not learning. He was having fun, but he wasn't retaining. The moment that computer turned off, he had no recollection of anything he had learned. It was like, oh, this is fun, which is supposed to be fun. Learning should be fun. And I roll my eyes at that, not because, it shouldn't be fun, but if that's the sole focus, he just wasn't retaining anything he was learning on Time for Learning, period. It didn't help him learn to read any faster. It just didn't help him at all. For my older girls, it was a lot of reading, like a lot of redundant reading. It just didn't work for our kids. Go check the program out. It's not a bad program. It just didn't work for our family, but we're a unique family. I have tried and this is what works for me. As I said earlier in the video, I pull from different curriculums and just piecemeal it. We're like a patchwork quilt when it comes to homeschooling. We just try something. If it don't work, we toss it and go to something else. We use a lot of documentary. I really like that. My kids are very tactile learners. So documentaries work for our family. I use the complete curriculum from Harcourt off of Amazon. I get those books and pull worksheets out of those. This year, my daughter's doing the Carson DeLosa workbooks. We do field trips. We just piecemeal it together. But that's just been our experience. The books off of Amazon, what does your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth grader need to know, are great for teachers to give you something to build your curriculum on. What I did like about the ones that we tried, what I really, really, really love about Connections Academy is they grade the paperwork. They have a teacher. I'm just more the assistant, so I'll give that for it. What I liked about Time for Learning is they grade the paperwork. I didn't have to do none of that, which is hard with the time that I have. But like I said, I was so disconnected from what the kids were doing that it took me a long time to realize that my son was not learning to read. He was learning to answer questions, and a lot of it from guesswork. So now, this year my plan is, okay, the girls are old enough where we can grade the papers together instead of it piling up. So that's the strategy I'm going to use this year. Like I said, this is our 4th year of homeschooling. I can't say anything about K-12 other than every time I've inquired about that, I'm put on a waiting list. And I've had some friends who have tried it, and, they said it was pretty good. It's very comparable to Connections Academy. I have some who are using Penn Foster for their high schoolers. I may look into that for my girls when they get into high school. I'm not sure yet. I'm just playing around with it. So, like I said, my advice would be, as far as choosing a curriculum or anything, not that this was a curriculum video, this was just a homeschool rant, I guess. A homeschool rant for me, not a rant, I guess just, hey, I needed to talk and hope y'all listen. I'm just putting out there in the void about our homeschool. So nothing negative. I love homeschooling and to do it. We will continue to do it. It works for our family. It's been a lifesaver. The kids did go to a really great public school. We just had so many appointments with occupational therapy and physical therapies and all of these things because like I said earlier, we have special needs family that it got to be too much. And even the school was like, you might want to think about homeschooling because you're always going on appointments. And even though we'd get the work done, state requirements doesn't, even with excused absences. I know some of you are going to be like, yes, but they give you medical excused absences. They do, but it still goes against their record. And it's still like, well, if you miss so many days, then they're going to fail, even if they do the work. It's just, so even the school was like, you really may think about homeschooling. That may be best for your family. And it's worked out great for us. As with any family, it's real moments for us, real mom moments. I'm not going to pretend like it's always rosy. We have wonderful moments, and I love homeschooling. I wouldn't change anything about it. But other times it can be a real struggle, for the kids to have the motivation to do the work unless you're standing over them. They think sometimes mom has to be the bad guy and say, well, this is schoolwork and we got to get it done. And it's not fun for them. It's not fun for me. When we do projects or when we're going on field trips, that's the fun stuff. When we watch documentaries and do reports and stuff like that, or take field trips based on unit studies. I like unit studies. I really do. I wish I could do more of those. That's when I have the fun. When we're doing unit studies. I love that. Workbooks are no fun. Oh, and there's my kitty's face. Hi. Anyway, workbooks are no fun. And sometimes you just got to buckle down and do them. But yeah, so that's what I would recommend as curriculum. Not any one in particular, just try them all, see what works for you. But those are the things, the pros and cons to the ones that I used. And like I said, this is just kind of our first homeschool video on my mom life about, the summer, the jet lag or instead of, it would be summer lag for the, yeah, okay. Yeah, so go ahead and take the dog out. Okay, if you're not too bored by the talking head today, just go ahead and subscribe. Click in the link below or on the button below. Subscribe and watch our other videos. All right, we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.